Two humorous nurses would like to acknowledge the true custodians of the land in which we record our podcast, the Yorta Yorta people.
We pay our respects to elders past and present and extend our respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders listening today. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
Two humorous nurses with Kelly and Alicia.
Debrief time.
It's a debrief with Kelly and Alicia. Yeah.
I reckon for 3.5 years we've been talking about a debrief jingle. We've still never done it.
Debrief time with Kelly and Alicia. That sounds like something you'd hear on the radio. Painful, earwormy. Total Tools.
Hello, Frank Walker. National Tiles. Well, the one that me and Amelia like the most, Eureka. Eureka Sheds. Shed beer. Shed beer footy crickets. Shed beer footy crickets mates. Shed. Eureka Sheds. I don't know the rest of it, but Amelia knows it off by heart.
You can always tell people watch too much TV.
I would never buy a shed, so it's super annoying that that's the ad that's in my head.
For me, it's always that Total Tools one's always stuck in my head. Anyway, welcome to our debrief for April.
And we have a little lucky monster crawling around our feet. What are you doing? Ooh, snacks.
Right, that will solve the problem for 10.5 minutes.
Yep. He's not unhappy though.
No, he's happy. What's news?
Don't know.
So I went to the Anzac service yesterday.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And
Did you go to, was it a dawn service?
No, it wasn't.
Just the daytime.
I'm not taking my kids to dawn service.
Cam took Amelia to the dawn service.
Oh, it's different if she's older.
Yeah.
But Ollie did really well. It took ages. Like, it went for a long time. But before I get into it, literally sitting there like a minute before it's about to start, Mick goes, oh. Leash, I'll duck down. You better go. I'm like, are you joking? And then I look over and there's all these people like running over and I was like, Jesus Christ, someone just died. So anyway, I went over there and there's all these people there. All these people literally like swarmed to this woman. And I go over and I was like, I'm like, oh, heaps of people, like surely they've got it under control. And so I go over, this woman is like pale as a sheet. She's got vomit all around her mouth.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh, and she's old. And I was like, is anyone here a nurse? Everyone took a step back. It was like you see in the movies, like when they're like, does someone want to volunteer? And everyone steps back and then one person steps forward. And so literally no one was a nurse. And I was like, oh, I'll better help. And I said, does anyone see what happened? And someone said that she'd collapsed and hit her, like looked like she'd hit her back and hit her head on the table. And then like someone had gotten her into the recovery position before I got there. And I was like, and she was sort of out of it, but she could talk to me. And I said, oh, do you have any pain anywhere? And then someone goes, she was grabbing at her chest before she fell. And I was like, oh, God. And then I look around and I see one of our colleagues who rocks up. She goes, you're right here. I'm like, oh, hang around. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, she was okay, thankfully. But I was like, oh, there's like 1,000 people here.
Oh, God.
And I don't want to.
Nothing worse.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I hope
crowded.
And then the lady was sort of like, I'm okay, really. I'd like to sit up. I'm like, you look dreadful. I don't really want you to sit up.
Might not be the best idea.
She was okay after a little while. She was okay. So, yeah, anyway, it was a happy ending, I think.
She went to hospital?
She did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, when you do stuff like that in the community. Like, you know, one of the girls, Emily, rocks up from work and then another girl that I know has like some nursing background. I think she was a PCA. I'm not sure if she went on and did her EN, but she was like on the phone to ambulance. So I knew her and I was like, okay, well, there's people that I can like call on if something goes wrong. But then, yeah. But the Anzac service itself, like I never really go to that one. Normally we would go to a dawn service.
Yeah.
But I never really been to this one that's like 9:30 or something it starts. And they had a guy who was like came in on one of the horses, like and there was two guys on horses, and one of the one of the service members, I guess, he read a poem, and it was like enthralling. I was gripped, like it was so good. It was all about how the a lot of the horses who went over didn't come back. They had to shoot them before they came back.
Oh, God.
And it was a poem written from the perspective of the horse.
Oh,
I was like crying. I was like, hold it together, Alicia. This is about a fictitious horse. Or maybe it wasn't fictitious, but it was like, why the long face?
Oh.
And, we've got all these memories, but your face is all twisted up. And the way that this guy gave this poem, I was like, I don't know, I felt like I was on the shores of Gallipoli. Like it was amazing. Anyway.
That's, I've not been to, I've only been to the dawn service like a couple of times. And
it's pretty powerful.
I haven't been to, I've been to any local service.
Shame on you.
I know. I probably would have, because my brother, he's been in the army, he's a police officer now, but he's been in the army for since he was 17 or 18.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's done a lot in there. So he always marches or does stuff, but I've not been around in Perth when he's been doing that.
Yep.
So, but Dad and my last Anzac Day, Dad and stepmom come over for the weekend because we had that. Do we have Georgie Carroll last year? It was the year before last. The live show.
Must have been the year before because it was like my first night away from being a mum.
Yeah, it was 2022, that's right. And they came over because my dad's dream was to go to an Anzac Day game at the MCG. So, they did. We had like a big weekend and I was like, you're going to go home with COVID.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't that when you all got COVID?
Yeah. Well, we didn't, but they did.
That's
yeah.
right.
So they, so they came over and they did the night before game, Richmond and whatever. Then Amelia, my dad and Cam went to the dawn service.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then they went to the Anzac Day game.
Yeah.
And then, and then we left the next day and they flew out the day after and then they were sick 2 days later and then they tested positive to COVID.
I would love to do a great big dawn service. I've been to dawn service at Shepparton.
Yeah.
Because I had friends marching.
Yeah.
And Michael's family, 2 of his brothers are in the army. We normally go to this hick-ass, really small town with a couple of hundred people dawn service. And it's normally really lovely, but it's still, when it finishes, it's pitch black still and it's freezing.
So during COVID, they did, in the town that I live in, we did a dawn service on the street and we had a drone fly over. So we all had to be up and out by 6 o'clock and Amelia and I made a huge poster. People decorated the paths.
Wow.
And we all stood outside our houses with candles and stuff. And so Amelia listens to the radio every night. So we were woken by the last post on the radio.
Wow.
And all of us raced outside and it was super foggy and it was so freaking cold. We had our poster on our fence with we'd made big poppies and stuff.
Wow.
Most creative I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And we all stand out front and then the drone went over every street in our town and they made a video of it for our community.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. Everyone came out. Everyone stood on their street.
Again?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just because COVID, we couldn't actually have a service.
And people were so keen on doing stuff like that because it was keeping you going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And whereas now people are I don't have time for it. I'm not going to have time.
No. But yeah, anyway, that was Cam took Amelia. We went to Cam and I did the Perth dawn service, which I don't
at Kings Park?
Yes, and watching the sunrise come over.
That
oh my God, it was so moving.
I'd love to do one at the War Memorial in Canberra. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be intense, wouldn't it? Yeah.
There'd be all the ghosts making sure you feel stuff.
Yeah. Remind you. But yeah.
Even just doing the one in Melbourne would be pretty cool. It's just so nice. And Ollie was Ollie had all these questions. Why are we here? What are we doing? Why are there horses here? Yeah. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
The minute silence. I want to go. I'm like, just 1 more minute. Oh, you need to be quiet for 1 more minute. She did so well. And the horses were a good distraction. They kept her
definitely.
interested. But yeah, I was like, oh, you know, we're just going to go and remember all the men and women that worked really hard for our country. She's like, well, okay.
Yeah, sure.
She got to wear a dress. Looked pretty.
She loves that stuff.
She does. That was good. And there was singing and music, and that got her excited too for a bit. So it was all right. She was good. There weren't many people there with toddlers. But rightly
a
so.
lot of work.
I know.
I don't think I have any updates to make. What have I done?
None at
What
all.
have we done?
You've been doing Pilates flat out. Have you
Oh my
been crying
God.
at many lately?
Quite a few. I'm so sore. My knees are like
Cooked.
I had to cancel the other night, which is probably a good thing because I forgot we had drag bingo. And then drag bingo starts at 5:30 and my Pilates wouldn't have finished till 5:45 and I would have had to go on just straight there from Pilates. Sweaty mess, but I couldn't go. I woke up that morning, I could barely walk. And I was just like, I've been going 3 times a week, which for most people is like completely normal. But like I don't exercise much.
I was telling my osteo, I said, oh, Kelly's booked an appointment with you.
Yes.
I'm like, and this girl has gone from doing nothing to being like flat out committed to Pilates. So
I know.
It doesn't surprise me that you've booked an
And
appointment.
in the last month, I've tried to up my spring levels as well. So like I think I've tried to like
push yourself.
Yeah. And every like my body's sore, which is fine. Like you expect your muscles to feel sore because like Pilates really does.
It's hard work
your muscles.
Reformer Pilates,
but my knees, because we've done a lot of kneeling stuff.
The kneeling stuff hurts.
Like the other day we were doing it and she's like, you can do it if you want to, like you can sit. And I thought, there's no way I would feel it as much as if I sat.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just do as many as I can before. But then because we were working out arms and shoulders, so even though it still works your legs. And so then I stood up and my legs were like full shaking, like I could barely. And then she's like, right, we're going to do squats. And I thought, who's going to do squats? Because I can't. Like my legs are like shaking.
You're like, I can't even stand up. Don't ask me to bend.
And then she's like, so you do squats where you put your box on the side and the box on the reformer thing. And then we had to do like push back on the trolley. What's it called? The bed,
Carriage.
the carriage of the reformer. And then like lunges. Mate, my thighs were just like, my whole legs were just shaking. I was like, this is dangerous. We got the ring, we're supposed to squeeze the ring, and I'm like, I can't hold the ring. I'm going to fall over. Like,
have the ambos on standby.
Yeah. But it's good. I like it. And I feel like it's making
Be so
a
proud of
huge
yourself,
difference.
really. Like a lot of people would never do that. They would never just be like, I'm going to commit to this and I'm going to.
Well, I had a thing for April. I wanted to go 3 times for the whole week of April, and I couldn't see any reason why I couldn't do it, right? Because there was no. Anyway, I'm just looking quickly at my app. And because I didn't go Wednesday, I booked in for Saturday and I was 4th on the wait list. And I was like, I'm never going to get in. Anyway, I checked it this morning and I'm in for tomorrow, 8 a.m. I was like,
good for you.
But then, so that means, hang on, where am I? Oh, for God's sakes, Kelly, get yourself together. Yeah, so 1 week I went 4 times just in case I didn't do it. So this week if I go on Saturday and then I go on Monday, which I'm already booked in for, means that I have done 3 times a week for the whole month. 1, 2, 3, 4,
That is
5,
amazing.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It means I would have gone 12 times in April.
Is there a monthly competition for who can go
No.
the most?
Nah, I don't think so. But like she says you should you go every second day just to allow time for your like muscles to recover.
Yeah, of course. I don't know how people go every day when they've got like terrible muscle soreness. Like I would go if I'm a little bit sore, but I wouldn't go if I'm like if I can't sit on the toilet because my legs are so sore.
I don't mind I don't mind feeling my muscles, right? I'm feeling like I've worked them, but I don't want to be in pain. So Wednesday my knees were like one of them was a little swollen and I thought I can't push it.
No.
Like, it's obviously not happy.
It's going to make it worse.
And I don't want to make it worse. And my sciatic nerve in my left hip is like excruciating. I can barely stand like up for like 10 minutes without my foot going completely numb.
Oh.
So I really need to get into like Brooke. I'm just terrified she's going to hurt me because, like, I can't handle anyone touching me, even a normal massage. I don't like it.
She's pretty brutal, but she's good. And
but I also need it because,
instant relief.
I can't. Like, I'm not comfortable, and that's got nothing to do with the exercise. That is my nerve.
Yeah.
Because my leg goes completely tingly and my foot goes completely numb, and the pain is like excruciating.
She's amazing. That's all I can say. I was telling her today how I brag about her on the podcast. I literally did not know what an osteo was.
No, I mean, I still don't know.
Yeah, but I still don't know. But
we will have to have them on because I feel like we should do. We talked about doing a series of like allied health, and I think that we should definitely have her on.
Definitely. Yeah, she's just amazing. I don't know how she works the magic she does because.
Oh, I guess that's what they do, though, isn't it? It's their job.
Amazing.
They know what they're doing.
I've started doing PTs. I don't know if I talked about this, but I have found a personal trainer who gives a fuck. It's so nice. Like, I've worked with PTs in the past who are like all results driven,
arseholes,
or all just there for the money, or they're there to train hot girls. Like, I literally have found a PT who like cares about functional fitness, who cares about like, I don't know, dynamics. Like, he cares. I literally said to him, I feel like a weak blob after having children. I need to be like fixed from the ground up, right? And I'm like, I don't care about being super fit. I don't care about losing weight. All I need is for my muscles to function correctly so that I am not getting injured just merely by walking, because I'm at the point where I literally feel like, you know, when Harry Potter, have you seen Harry Potter?
No.
Well, I'm going to say this to our listeners, so I don't care about you. When Harry Potter falls off his broom and Professor, what's his name? Oh, shit, I can't remember. From the second one. Anyway, he tries to fix his arm, but all he does is remove the bone and his arm like goes like
floppy.
Basically, yeah. No, I'm just boneless at the moment. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like an invertebrate, like a slug. I'm a slug. And, you know, weirdly, and so he's so good. He's literally like, I'll be doing an exercise and he's like, oh, your right hip is like twisting a little bit. And so then he's like, oh, you need to mention this to your osteo because like there's something not quite right. And I took it back to Brooke and she was like, oh my gosh, that's so good. Tell him to video it on like next time, you know, and then I can actually see what's going on. And he's just so like, he's so supportive of my goals, and like, I haven't been this excited to train in such a long time, and it has nothing to do with like achieving anything.
Yeah.
It has, I literally go there and I'm totally aimless, which sounds stupid, but I feel like when you have kids,
but you do have a goal. It's just not weight loss or strength.
It's not
it's
measurable.
Like, that's right.
And it's so nice to have a goal that's not measured by a number on a scale or the size of my clothes.
Yeah, and I think like with Pilates, that was my aim, was to be just to move, but I didn't want to do it in a way that's like hard cardio because I don't want to do that. And if I do that, then I'm not going to go. And
it's not going to be sustainable.
It's not going to be sustainable. And I feel like Pilates, like it's so inconvenient for me. I'm pretty sure we say this every time, but like honest to God, I finish work at 4, classes aren't till 5:30. I live too far out of town to go home. So I sit there with Amelia and I just make sure that I have stuff that I need her to go get me from Woolies so she can be distracted. She comes in, she sits on the phone and watches if there's spare carriage. If there's not, she sits in another room.
Yeah.
And like, but I can feel the difference in myself. I don't think I've lost weight, and I don't think
you have.
Or I don't know. I don't weigh myself, to be honest, at the moment. But that's not the goal of it.
No, exactly.
But I have muscles that I've never had. I mean, obviously I've always had them, but like I can feel them.
Yeah.
And I think
do you feel stronger? And
yeah. And I think it's given me, it's like achieving something. Like I didn't think I could do it because I thought I was too big to do it. And I'm like, but there are things that I can do now in Pilates that I couldn't do at the start.
Yeah.
Not great. Like there's still nowhere near. I'm not like.
But there's progress there. Like
there is. Yeah. And like, you know, I couldn't push myself up to do a plank and like lift my knees off the carriage. And now I can. Sometimes it's 30 seconds, sometimes it's 10 seconds, but I couldn't do that before.
Good. Yeah.
And when we do like scooter plies and shit. Like I still can't lift my leg up behind me, but I can lift my knee off the ground.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that before.
Yeah.
And just all those little things that you do, like even just putting the springs up to higher strength and stuff. It's cool. I love it.
And satisfying.
Very satisfying. And it's really safe environment. Like no one's looking at you like, oh, you can't, like we do when you hang your legs over the end and you do like sit-ups. Well, I can pretty much lift all my shoulders off the carriage, right? But everyone else can sort of sit up above, like over their knees. But I can't do that. And I'm not going to be able to do that for a very long time. But I could barely lift my head off before. So like for me, that's enough. But it doesn't matter. No one's looking at each other and no one's competing.
Because you're running your own race. Yeah.
Yeah, because no competition.
No,
but in your head, when you think about going to the gym, you think as a overweight, bigger person, you think people are staring at me. People are judging me for what I can and can't do, or how much you're lifting or not lifting, or how much cardio you're doing or not doing, or like you think people are thinking that. And I'm sure in some gyms that happens. Yeah. And I think that you shouldn't shit over people like that, because we're the ones that should be in here.
Absolutely.
You should be like wanting to help us and like correcting your form, or like giving them some encouragement to like be there.
Yeah, exactly. Even just being kind.
Because like the whole fat phobia in a gym blows my mind, because like I go to a women's only gym and I go there for a reason. Yes. I will never go to a normal gym because I've had terrible experiences in the past, and I like stood up for myself at the time, but like it doesn't make you want to go back.
No, exactly right.
So I choose to only go to a women's only gym, and I will continue to do that. But it should not happen. Like being mean to fat people in gym is like the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Because what are they going to do? They're going to go home and not ever do it again?
Yeah. And so I said to my PT, I was like, because I was so distracted on Monday when I went, and I was like a bit frazzled and whatever. And he's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, you just have to understand, like, because he didn't know me. Like 10 years ago, I was fit as fuck. Like, and I was, playing sport, and I was like pretty much the fittest, and, physically I was the lightest I'd ever been ever. And I said to him, like, you have to understand, when I used to come to the gym, I was the most confident person in the room. There was nothing I couldn't do. And I could run for half an hour on the treadmill, and I could, and coming back now, it's so different for me. And he'll ask me, like, what weight are you comfortable lifting or whatever? And I'm like, I really don't know. Just start me at the beginner, because I'm like, I know I could probably deadlift 100 kilos, but I'm probably going to get injured doing it.
Yeah.
But so like start me back at the basics. And like mentally it's been really hard for me to come back without goals and to come back and see the person in the mirror.
Because you like an end game. Like you like to work towards something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then because of the nature of my personality, as soon as something starts getting too challenging, it goes.
Yeah. You need another thing.
Yeah. And so I think that's why I'm adjusting to this no expectation level of gymming that I've never had before. And like now I just go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's okay for me. And like I didn't get to go this Wednesday because Lockie wasn't playing the game. Didn't punish myself for it. Didn't like, and in the past I would have been so hard on myself for missing that day that I would have gone twice as hard on Thursday.
Yeah, that's
and then
right.
Suffered through Friday. And like, whereas now I'm like, I'll try and get there on the weekend if I can. But, at the end of the day, and I'm not going to get there today either because of, like, it's a huge day. So, yeah, I feel like in the past I would have been really hard on myself and I really would have punished myself for doing that. But now it's just a whole different game for me now.
Yeah.
It's more about, like, wanting to be able to run around with my kids and not be fucking, like I had so much pain in my pregnancy, and now occasionally I'll get, like, that pain will come back a little bit.
Yeah.
And, it's because my body doesn't work like it should. Like my muscles don't work like they should. And Jess went through my handbag the other day. Were you there?
No.
Oh, no, it was at dance. Jess goes through my handbags and she goes, oh, this is an insight into Alicia's life. And she pulls out and this is like my little baby handbag, tote bag that goes on the pram. And inside it is a TheraBand, like for exercise. Yeah. And she goes, what the fuck is this doing in there? I'm like, you don't understand, Jess. Like I have to activate my glutes if I want to do exercise or I'll injure myself. Like, this is where I'm at. I'm 32 and my ass muscles don't work.
Yeah. But you can't, I don't know. I just feel like at least we're doing something. And for me, I just want to have those little goals that I do each time and try and do that.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah, I'm proud of us too. Because look at us. We're just doing all the things.
Speaking of doing all the things,
What?
well, we've got a really exciting thing coming up in June.
We do have a very exciting thing coming up. We spent a long time trying to create some content for this thing coming up, which they released the other day. So we're doing the ANMF ACIT student conference in June. We're going to be talking there, and they wanted us to record a little video to promote it. And
we're so glad we're not influencers. We have had a real insight in what influencer life might look like, and it's fucking shit.
We've went to a nice little spot, and we tried so many things. In the end, it ended up with me jamming my phone into a V
of a tree.
Country gals. And Amelia telling us we're in the centre, then recording, then looking back, realising we're absolutely not in the centre.
Amelia! So, I'm like, are we in the middle? Is there equal amount of space on the outside on both sides? Yeah. Look back at the video. No. Kelly's like on the edge of the frame and there's a metre of space next to me. Amelia, come on.
And then we couldn't remember our lives.
This is why you don't get 11-year-olds to be your social media managers and film all your content.
We couldn't remember our lives, and then Alicia told me off for going too fast, and then
you were over it by that point.
We were. I was like, one more time,
and then we recorded something, and then this lady with her dog just slowly walks by.
We were so close.
And then we had to wait. We're like looking at her like, can you hurry up because you're still in the shot.
Influencers in the wild here. Come on now.
Like the Bear Grylls of influencing.
Oh, my God. Anyway, we did it. And it's going to be so fun. So if you're a student in Victoria, jump on the ANMF. Just Google ANMF ACIT and it'll come up.
And register.
It's an interactive day. I think they're going to do like mock interviews. And
there's a huge amount of grad preparation. If you're going to be a grad next year or you've finished your studies this year.
And it's ENs, RNs, RMs.
Yes, midwives.
Everyone. And we're going to be there for the whole day. Hopefully they'll put us to use and we
won't just be standing around waiting to speak.
Mock interview. But, yeah, we can't wait. We're working really hard on our speech, actually, which is
look at us taking things seriously.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing, actually. We've both nearly written our speeches, I think.
Yeah, we just got to write about the podcast.
And practice.
I
feel like we're definitely going to make it worth your while if you come.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
And then so definitely jump on the ANMF website. It's there, or go to their Instagram page, which is just ANMF Vic.
We could put it in our link tree, actually. I might do that today.
Yeah. I've linked it a few times in our profile. But, yeah, we hope to see everyone there and definitely come up and say hi to us. We love that. Well,
hopefully I'll be medicated by then. No, we do. These events are so fun. And this is the first time I think we're doing it as professionals, as podcast professionals, not just donate, not just sharing our time for a charity or for a good cause. This has been, this is the first kind of real professional event that we
it's fun.
Are doing. So it's exciting.
I've taken an ADO at work so I can go.
Me too. I've taken an ADO from caring for my children.
From mum life. We'll race down in the morning and then race back in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. It's going to be good. Oh, I've got my third trip back to Perth after that. If I'm going to Perth next weekend, actually. Yeah.
So you're going 3 times this year?
4
times this year?
Yep.
Crikey.
I know.
That numb life.
Qantas.
She's got 10 grand to spend on flights.
Thank God you can afterpay flights now. All I can say is every time I clear my afterpay, I have to book flights. Oh, God.
If you saw what was on my afterpay, it was Disney on Ice, kids' clothing. Kids' clothing.
The other day I afterpaid something that was $9.95 because it only had Afterpay. It didn't have PayPal, so it was like, or Apple Pay or anything. So it was like the only two choices was Afterpay. No, there was three choices: Afterpay, Zip, or credit card. And I was like, oh well, Afterpay. So then I paid
Why
all.
didn't you pay it on your credit card?
Because
Did you
I
get
didn't
a
have
surcharge?
No, I didn't have my credit card handy.
Oh.
So I was like,
Oh, sometimes I afterpay things because, like, when I'm shopping online,
I
if
don't
haven't
want to
got
go
my
get
stuff with
correct.
Me, yeah, I'll afterpay and then I'll just pay.
Afterpay was like $2.75 today, and I was like, yeah. But then I went into Afterpay and just paid all of them.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah, pay now. I love Afterpay for the. I actually went and afterpaid some runners because I needed new runners. And
Yeah,
I just bought a new
in-shop
battery. So
Afterpay is pretty good. I like that.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that how
what I
you do?
did.
Yeah, that's
here in
right.
town.
Yeah.
Which normally I would buy something online for $50 cheaper, but I didn't want to wait. So I was like, I'll just go into town. And I actually got some really good ones. Although my feet have grown an entire size. Kelly,
Isn't
I cannot
pregnancy weird?
I can't afford for my feet to get any bigger. They literally a woman's these shoes I'm wearing are a men's 10.
What's that in women?
12.
Wow.
12. I've officially got
They're pretty ugly too.
skis on my feet. Hey, these are Brooks's. These are really nice. What do you mean ugly? I love these
They're not
shoes.
for me.
Anyway, I'm wearing men's shoes
We went
now.
to drag bingo.
We did.
And I put up a post with Alicia because so they called for volunteers. We were towards the end of the night. We were all a couple of cocktails deep. And then they were like needing volunteers. And Alicia had gone to the toilet. And then she come back and we're like, get up there. Just pushed her straight out.
I came up and I said, what's going on here? And then you're like, you need to go up there.
Get up there.
And I was like, I need to go up there.
Because she talked about, has anyone here seen RuPaul's Drag Race? And I knew immediately it was going to be a lip sync, right? She's like, I need 9 people. And I was like, it has to be a lip sync. And I actually looked for you, but you'd gone to the toilet. So then you come out and I was like, get up there. And,
then I said,
you're like,
what
I don't know
for?
what's happening. What's
and
happening?
you're like, we don't know either.
Yeah, get up. Well, she hadn't told us and I didn't want to be wrong because I was like, Alicia's going to nail this. And it was so funny. At the start, all three of you were standing there. Then the music started and then it was like,
I was like,
Brittany.
This is my jam.
And then, immediately your arm went up and I was like, she's on.
Do you know what? I stood there. So she had nine people and then separated us into 3 heats. And I was in the first heat and I was like, I have to go for it here.
You do.
I cannot because otherwise this drag queen is totally going to rip shreds off us just standing there doing nothing. So I'm like, righto, well, I'm going for it. And I knew that another girl in another heat, Nikita, she was going to go for it.
She was like, I'm so glad you two weren't together in the same heat.
I know. It was so funny. And I was like, it's on. And then do you know what the funniest thing was? I didn't tell you this. So I won my heat by a landslide, I'm pretty sure. Because thanks to Brittany, oops, I did it again. And that was just so fun. Like, I loved it. And I was mostly just dancing to you guys.
Yeah.
Which I think we all kind of were to our own table. And then the next heat came and went and Nikita ended up being in the final with me. And she said to me, hey, whoever wins, we'll just split the prize. And I looked at her, I was like, no, bitch, you go down.
So I did put a reel up of Alicia dancing. It was good. I picked the best bit.
Terrible. I looked at her, I'm like, oh, man.
No, you were so funny. You were not funny. You were amazing. Like, honestly,
I was trying to be funny.
I could literally see the minute, like, as soon as that song started, and the other two just looked, and you just like threw an arm in the air, and I was like, she's on, she's clicked in, and then she went for it. And then in the last heat, there was two. There was an older lady, like another younger girl who looked like she would give it a red hot go, and then a guy in a white shirt, right?
Yeah.
We should have known because Kate goes, like, let's see what he has. Should have known right from the get-go that his shirt was too tight for him not to nail this. Anyway, she's like, I think you'll all get this because it was like a real mismatch of ages. And it was Grease Lightning. Oh, my God. The music started. He was like on a chair. I thought he was going to fucking lose his life. He fucking nailed it. And then she's like, and what's your name? And he goes, Danny Zuko.
That was great.
Anyway, it was very funny. And you
was a
got
fun night.
absolutely fucking gypped at the end.
Yeah, because the drag queen got my name wrong, so no one knew who she was talking talking about?
But I also just think that your cheer was louder.
I thought it was too.
And I have it on video so we can like check it later. But so
You can put it out for a poll.
it come down to two people, Alicia and the other girl. And the other girl
was
had
great. She was
very good. And she had a table of 16 people.
Yeah.
So we were outnumbered, but we tried our best to be so fucking loud. And I think we nailed it. And then the drag queen was like, I can't do this. So your table has to be quiet and their table has to be quiet, and then only the rest of the people can vote. And I'm pretty sure you got louder than the other, but I feel like, I don't know why. Anyway, you only won a bottle of wine. So
I know, yeah, I wasn't that
whatever.
worried about it.
Didn't matter. And in our eyes, you're a fucking winner because you nailed it.
No, she did too. Do you know when she did her heat, I was like screaming. She was so good.
She was good. Yeah. And then I unconsensually had to motorboat Nikita. Did you see that? No. She full in the final, grinded up against me and then like jams my face between her boobs. I was like, I'll just go with this, I guess. And then I went home and yesterday morning and I was showing Cam the video. I was like, oh, Alicia had to lip sync. And he goes, oh my God, she would have fucking nailed that. And I was like, she did. Look at the video. And he's like losing it. And I said, oh, and then I might have like had to motivate Nikki. And he just goes, oh my God. And
did you get a video of that?
I don't know. No. Maybe Kate did. I didn't, but I think Kate was videoing.
I was like making love to anyone who had a camera. I was like getting right up in the camera. But then I'm worried that the cafe is going to put videos out of it.
Maybe. It was fun. It was a really so fun night.
It was fun.
If you get a chance to do a drag bingo, there's like they do some drag bits in between, and
it was quite
the bingo
funny.
Was fun.
It was good. I'll definitely go again.
Yeah,
not to this one, but to a bigger one would be good.
Yeah, definitely.
Keeping you up, am I?
Yeah.
Big day today.
Yeah, you have a big day today.
It's weird. I feel like we should have done this debrief afterwards.
I know, but I think you might need a bit of time to process before you talk about it on a day. Like I wouldn't want to. I want you to have some time to wrap your head around it.
Yeah, it's confusing. I feel very.
That's because there's a little part of you that thinks they're going to say that you don't have anything, and then you're just a psychotic bitch,
pretty much, versus
a neurodivergent.
Yeah. Pretty much. I feel like that's a totally normal worry for every neurodivergent seeking. It's almost like seeking validation. That's how it feels.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Because then it like literally sums up
my entire life.
Correct.
Yeah. And my entire future.
Yeah.
Yeah. No pressure.
No pressure at all. No pressure.
Yeah. So
it'll be good. Whatever the answer is, I think that you are very, and I hate this term, but like really brave to even do it in the first place, and the courage it takes to go through the whole process and to include like Mick and me and people in the questionnaires is like just, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're still just Alicia. Medicated Alicia will be interesting.
It will be very interesting. Yeah. I'm more curious than anyone, I think. So
it'll be good.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I've tried actively not to think about it because and I haven't done a countdown or anything like that. I've literally I think I did like maybe one or two times being like, this is how many days I've got to go, and then haven't thought about it again since. And then every time I think about it, it's like this mini panic attack pit of my stomach kind of feeling. So I'm like, don't like that. Just won't think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping. I guess the only thing in the back of my mind is like, if there are certain types of medications that you can't breastfeed with.
Yeah.
So then that will be, I guess, something I'm going to have to come to terms with, because like I fed Ollie till she was 14 months.
Yeah.
And I had every intention of doing the same for Lockie. But like, I don't know. I can't explain the attachment to breastfeeding. Like it's...
No, I mean, I don't understand because I didn't get to breastfeed, but I think that it's natural.
Yeah,
that's natural too, to have that fear. Like, but if you do decide to stop, it's not, it's not a failure. No, you've got to do what's right for all of you.
Ollie was a better feeder than him. Like he has a lot more bottles than Ollie did, and like we kind of...
he's a real messy feeder, isn't he?
He's a pain in the ass. But so if I did stop feeding, honestly, I think that he would not give a shit.
No.
He would be more than happy to go straight on bottles because that's actually like his preferred method of being fed.
Lazy boys.
Yeah, pretty much. He wants it as quick as humanly possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think he would be totally unfazed. And I think it would just be something that I would have to come to terms with. And because I think I need to, like I said to Moggle, I'm like, this has been 2 years in the making. Like this is since I first kind of thought about it and realised that this is probably what's going on with me. And then every time there's sort of a big stressor in life, that's when it's almost, it's not my mental health, but it's like my functional capacity is totally diminished and I can't and then I spiral and I start planning businesses and
that's right. Starting new hobbies.
Applying for postgrad studies and just honestly,
doing everything you can to distract from the actual
the problem. Yeah, exactly. So I think big day.
But it's only a couple of hours away.
I know.
So
I'm really excited now. I think I've tried. You girls have been actually so good. The other night I was like, if I get my ADHD diagnosis and you're like, when? And all you girls like, when you get it? And I'm like, I need to kind of change my thinking. I mean, I won't have to for much longer.
No.
It's so close. But yeah, like I've been trying to sort of get myself excited for it and like, that there's a very strong probability that I'm going to get a diagnosis. And that is... in a weird way, people are like, what are you hoping for? Like, what do you... And it's like, it's not a hope at this point. It's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's not a hope.
Yeah.
Like, it's just what has to happen.
Yeah.
I've been in a few forums and one was like, I don't have ADHD, but my doctor thinks I could have a brain tumor. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I was looking at like, well, conditions that mimic ADHD, and I'm like, I've kind of gone through all of that and I don't think that I fit into any of those. So I'm like, it's like the process of elimination at this point.
Exactly.
But it's going to be great.
Will be great. It will be good. Whatever the outcome, whatever. It'll be good. Have you got comments section for us?
Oh my God, yep. Fuck.
We got to wrap it up.
Yeah, all right. This is so good. Now when I doom scroll, I check the comments to see if there's ever anything like hilarious. And then the song got in my head. Okay, so this is a real Frankie Lapp. So he's like, I don't even know. He's like a stuntman or something. He's like a huge TikToker. Public figure, Michigan, 26 years old. Built different, Jesus is king, right? This is... And he's got a reel. Okay, and this is before I knew who he was, right? It's literally this guy running in like a rodeo arena and all these cowboys trying to lasso him, right? Like, and I thought, oh, this is funny. And because I love physical comedy, he gets stacked. Like he gets caught and just absolutely like falls into the ground. Anyway, I'll share it to our stories next week when this comes out. But he has a huge ass.
Is it real?
It's huge. Like
I'm just looking at it.
He's fit as anything and has a huge ass, right?
It's like a Kardashian butt.
And it's like a car.
It's had 71 million views, that video.
Right. So I think because I've watched it 71,000 times. So the comments, right? Call his cheeks rumours because I'm about to spread them. This week on Is It Cake?
Can I just say what he's wearing? He's wearing like khaki shorts that are like so freaking tight and a tight like khaki colour or camel colour top, like a safari outfit but with just the shorts, and his ass is fucking huge.
Right, and because the shorts are so tight. Anyway, another one. Dump trucks typically don't go very fast. This one was my favourite. Ready? Good googly moogly. This is a new sport called cake wrangling.
Cake
Are
wrangling?
they real? You know what I'm talking about? I need answers. I haven't fucking slept in a week. Are they real? Forget cake. Boy bought the whole bakery.
I like this one. could have run faster if he wasn't pulling that trailer.
Good thing he had those airbags to break his fall.
Oh my God.
So good. Just when you think your day can't get better, you see this vid and you run straight to the comments. He was corn-fed. What the fuck is that?
Because they corn-feed their cattle in feedlots to make them gain weight.
That's great.
That's so funny. All they heard was clapping before he hit the ground.
Let's see if we can get this city boy to run as fast as he can and let us try to heal him. Why this man's so caked up. I'm glad this guy exists. Bra got a badonkadonk.
Oh my God.
So good. Wrangle him by the butt cheek. If he wasn't dragging that wagon, he probably would have made it. It's just so good. I feel like the reel is probably better than the comments.
The reel is hilarious.
So funny because he thinks he's getting through all these lassos and then bolt.
I can't get over his ass. It's like,
I should have been a cowboy. So good.
love me some country music.
So good. Anyway,
His
run
ass
to them
is
comments.
Honestly, he has. Surely that's not real.
I don't know. Then I saw it because then I started looking into who the fuck is this guy.
He can run.
And someone was like, the guy with the arse implants that does all the stunts. And I'm like, oh, maybe they are arse implants. But he's written on his thing, built different. Like that's in his bio.
Maybe
So Frankie Lapp, if you're listening. Lol.
Frankie LaPena. Videographer and influencer who makes humorous content.
Oh, his videos are like Jackass style, some of them. And he's so incredibly talented. Like some of his, the stuff that he does is just crazy. Like he's huge on TikTok. He does like, I don't know, skiing. And like, look at this. He just like backflip, like lands on a table.
Oh, yeah.
With his ass. And I think if they were implants, he would not do that. He literally jumps off a ladder and lands on a table ass first. And like if they were implants, but that doesn't look normal. His butt doesn't look normal. But he does like jumps on motorbikes and stuff in his khakis, in his really tight khakis. Anyway, love him. Love the comments. And make sure you tag us in anything you think that's comment worthy.
Yeah.
I've seen a few nursing ones.
I'm
might
just
do one next time.
scrolling to see if I can find about whether his butt's real.
The jury's out.
Doesn't say anything. Can't find anything.
I think it's time for another coffee.
All right.
So come to the ACID event.
Come to the ACID event. Go to the ANMF website. I will link it in the show notes, but obviously
And we'll put the link in our bio.
it's not hard to find it. Just Google it.
It's
if
not
you're
for
a
everyone.
student,
Yeah,
please
just
come.
for students.
Victorian students, obviously.
I mean, if you want to travel, come on.
Yeah. And we have, I'm going to put this episode out, but we have a fun episode next week with a special guest who you missed out on interviewing because you
I
had
really did.
diarrhea. So, yuck.
Pretty much, yeah.
But you would have loved it.
I know. I love him. I'm excited for this to come out. Are you going to say who it is?
Nah.
Oh,
They can tune
little
in
teaser.
and wait.
Little cliffhanger.
Oh, I thought you said something else then.
Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger.
Hanger. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.